Dixie Chicks, Kicks 105.5. Good day. That is There's Your Trouble. Wait, right behind me
is your trouble.
There's mine.
Right here.
Hey, shut your
there's even more trouble right in front of you.
Oh, my goodness. Stop what you're doing. I'm about to ruin. Okay, so last week.
What were you just quoting?
It was a song. It was
I
like
know,
an
what
old.
song?
Stop what you're doing. I'm about to ruin.
I make money.
Yeah.
You were doing the Humpty dance.
Oh, that's the Humpty
That was the
dance.
That was
Is
Digital
your
Underground.
chance. Do the hump. Sexy baby. Do the Humpty hump.
Hey.
Do the Humpty hump. Doesn't take much to get us excited here.
Yeah, I played that song for a while, and my son really liked it, but there were certain parts that I have to skip.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about that.
But he thinks it's about Humpty Dumpty, so he's all excited about that song.
His nose is as big as a pickle.
Hey-o.
So give it a tickle. So last week I was telling you about my friend Brent Curtis, who calls us through construction season every Monday at about 6:20.
Yes.
And we talk about different things. Mostly, has anybody gotten stuck in that squirrely truck area? How is the notch coming along with the weather? Are they doing any road replacements, culvert repair? Things like having to wait 20 minutes going in and out of Lindenville because of the train track situation right now.
Sure, yeah.
So he kind of gives us an update on that for what's going on for the week, and depending on what the weather is. And we also just discussed about the fact that these working people don't actually have a vote into how long they go for, as long as the weather is appropriate and the company that makes asphalt, for the most part, is operating, then they'll continue to do repairs on our roadways. Otherwise, they more or less close down for winter, except for emergency
Are you educating me on something I missed, or?
Well, no, we were just
No, you're back.
Coming back around. I know. Shuffling me poop, aren't you? The conversation that we had was, of course, about things going on in Florida and Texas, and flooding insurance for other people around here, whereas you had to have separate insurance. But there is, that possibility if you want to purchase that. And then we got to talking about more natural disaster things, and we were going to pick back up on.
You said that any given time the state has a couple of insurance claims
lawsuits going. Yep.
So I wanted you to elaborate, because last week we didn't really talk about it. So is it because somebody has damaged their thing, damaged their property? Is that what you were alluding to at that time?
No, what he was saying is because of every time you have an auto accident.
Yes.
And part of the road is dug up, they have to test the road. If you hit the guardrail, they have to make sure the guardrail's back. So, and can you believe that if you just hit a little piece of guardrail and take out maybe a handful of asphalt from the highway, you're looking at literally $10,000 for just that little. Now imagine if you had a bigger accident, of course. So they don't necessarily have to sue.
They don't.
For the most part, the insurance will take care of the state. And I think that the insurance in the state probably have a much better working than when I go to try to deal with. I had an incident. I can't say, yes, I'm the state of Vermont. They go, oh, yeah, well, you missed a payment. Oh, you didn't have that on your.
But it's different.
Yes.
See, it's different. And here is why it's different. It's not because you're Sean and they're the state. That's not anything to do with it. It is because you. And I think some of the issues that you had, and I'll really quickly give overview, there's certain pieces of coverage that maybe you didn't have. Well, every policy in the state of Vermont, if you're meeting state requirements, otherwise, why do you have insurance? Every policy has to meet state requirements, is that you have bodily injury liability and property damage liability.
Which is silly, because why you would buy the bare minimum, and I understand it's about finances, because you and I can go back and forth on why don't I have for a family of 5.
Well, we have.
Numerous
times.
For the point of this conversation. People don't know these things. Radio, theater of the mind.
Theater of the mind.
Yeah.
Well, I was trying to sell it harder. Now they know.
So,
but let me get back to the property damage, because that's the key point here. So when you have caused an accident and you have damaged or injured somebody, it is absolutely the requirement of your insurance company to indemnify that party. So for bodily injury, it's if you run into somebody and injure them or other people in their car, hit a pedestrian. But now let's get to the states. So if you are in an accident and you hit a guardrail, you're going to get a bill from the state of Vermont because you're going to have to replace that guardrail. We see more often telephone poles, which means Green Mountain Power or Fairpoint is getting the invoice, and they're getting paid. So if you are in an accident, you take out a utility pole, you take out a stop sign or a crossing sign or a guardrail, beyond the shadow of a doubt, that's a slam dunk easy win. There's no need for a lawyer there because here's where the accident occurred. Here's what happened. Oh, by the way, here's the bill.
Yeah.
So that's why they're getting it with very little difficulty because there's really very little need for additional burden of proof because it's already there.
I know that you deal with a lot of different claims, but do you know off the top of your head, like a ballpark, if I hit a telephone pole, what's that going to cost me?
$600?
$600? All right.
No, probably more than that. I don't know.
I'll have to ask for a raise.
I'm way
feeling
off. I'm
like
way off.
Driving reckless.
It might be. You know, my brother-in-law works for Green Mountain Power. He could probably tell me that, but I don't. I'm
bam,
not.
$600. And bam, $1,200. That's about as high as I can count.
But you know, when you think about it, and you know, I've actually had people in recent weeks come up to me and go, well, you know, and they're asking me scenarios, not real. You know, they're like, just because they're curious, you know, because we're in that discussion and I'm describing
just same
coverage.
as.
They go, well, if you're driving drunk, does the insurance company pay? Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
It was.
Will they cover you again? No.
Will it cover you again if you have a lot of money? A lot of money. But, you know, it's about your negligence. That's what insurance is for.
Right.
So, and regardless of what's happening, if you have an active policy and you are held liable for negligence and injury or property damage to others, be aware they're going to get their money.
And believe me when I tell you, if you go with just the state bare minimum,
you ain't going to get far.
What you will get, the state bare minimum.
Let me give you a quick example. Bodily injury state minimum is $25,000 bodily injury per person, not to exceed $50,000 per accident. What is that, a day at the hospital?
Yeah. And especially if you had a serious automobile accident.
Yeah.
And you were flown. Let's say you were flown there.
Well,
there's your money right there.
Airlift is taken all.
Yep.
You know, and then the minimum property damage liability is $10,000. That's kind of scary, especially if you're in an accident that can damage either a home or a motor home or what have you. There's some expensive things out there. So you really should never go a state minimum. Pay $50, $60, $70, $80 more,
yeah.
Not a month, maybe a year, depending on the company. Shop around and look for better coverage because you really need to protect yourself.
If you have more...
Before you wreck yourself.
Man.
What?
Cheesy cliches at the end of good policies.
You started with one.
Barrett Insurance Agency, available in St. Johnsbury by calling
748-5224. Visit our website, thebarrettagency.com, or on Google+, Facebook, and YouTube as Barrett Insurance Agency.
Thanks, buddy.
All right.